wants to talk about mommy. Can you tell me about your mommy? If that's okay.
Mommy was so pretty. She was like an angel up on stage.
On stage? You mean with your daddy?
Yep. She was always with Zach and Valent smiling. But then she went away.
Went away?
It was a grand illusion, but she made a mistake. She vanished and I guess she didn't know how to get back.
Maybe so.
I cried then a lot. That's when Daddy gave me this. Here.
This is your mother? She's beautiful.
Her name's Thalessa. Thalessa Grimari.
Poor girl. I didn't know her mommy had gone missing. And now her daddy's vanished too, right before our eyes.
Hey, Daddy, you won't...
Don't worry, I won't vanish, I promise.
Right, you can't even do magic. You're like a backup plan. Daddy always did have a backup plan.
I guess all I write as is a backup plan. Shusie's locket added to the court record. I think that's probably enough for today. Sorry to ask you so much all at once like that.
It's okay. After all, we're family. I just hope you're ready. The Right Talent Agency opens tomorrow.
Are we representing anyone?
Me and you. That makes two, Daddy.
You need more than that to make an agency. Besides, you may be a magician, but I am no talent.
Well, I'm sure there's something you're good at.
Well, when you put it that way.
You mean you don't have any tricks? No old standbys? This will not do. A boy should always have a trick or two in his pocket.
Okay, I'll think of something.
That's the spirit. See you bright and early tomorrow, Daddy.
Welcome to the team, Daddy-O. The team, right. Sometimes when miracles are... Where did that come from? Sometimes when magicians vanish, they leave something behind. That's how Trucy became Trucy Wright, my daughter. To be honest, I was pretty lost those few days. Thinking back on it, it was a pretty dark time in my life. But Trucy, happily smiling, Trucy, she was my light. And here's what happens when you complete an area. It'll check it off for you. So this is basically how the Moon Matrix works. So anyway, we can go back to the defendant lobby number 2, and then we have more info. Hit the talk. Hit the Magatama. And let's crack this lock. The disappearing check. Okay, Mr. Meekins. What do you know? Spit it out. Hey, what's with the atmosphere in here all of a sudden? You know something, and I'm gonna find out what. Zach Grimari vanished from this room. How'd he do it? How, sir? Well, sir, I can't say as I... Sir, why are you so nervous if you're hiding anything? Well, sir, you see, at the time, sir, I was here and... Listen, it was impossible. What could possibly go a little girl possibly do anyway? What did you just say? Sir, did I just say something, sir? No, you screamed into that megaphone of yours. There was someone else in the room, wasn't there? Sir, I'm going to have to invoke my right to remain in a state of not talking. It's okay, Meekins. You don't have to tell me who that accomplice was. I know who was here in this room that day. Trucy. Sir, sir, I've never seen that girl until just the other day. Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it. Sir, that day, she was here in the room, sir. But he wasn't. You mean you chased her into this room, not him? Sir, in my days as a police officer, I learned a thing or two. Okay, just one thing. but it was how not to make a girl for a 7-foot tall magician. 7 feet? Zack isn't that tall, is he? You have a point. I find it hard to imagine that anyone would mistake a little girl for Zack Gamari, but you saw something. And therein lies a trick. I think you know what it was, Mr. Meekins. Tell me, does this trick look familiar? Present the amazing Mr. Hat. What's that? That girl's favorite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat. She uses it in her show down at the Wonder Bar. Have you been to the Wonder Bar? So, it wasn't a walking dream, was it, sir? Come again? That night, on stage, I saw a vision, except it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. I like how his face is right behind the chain. And amazing Mr. Hat, he really exists. Unlock successful. Now talk about the vanishing trick again. I remember it clearly, though the details are a little vague. Zack Gamari exited the courtroom. I gave chase and cornered him in the corner room, sir. Zack Gamari, don't even think you could escape, Meekins. Down on your hands, floor on your head. Hello?
Something the matter, mister?
No, that is... Sir, I'm currently chasing a suspect, sir. Zack Gamari, do you know him?
Oh, I love Zack Gamari. His magic's the best. I'm his biggest fan.
I see. That's why you're wearing that costume you're wearing. Anyway, the very same Zack came into this room.
But no one's been in here except me.
But that has to be here somewhere, under the sofa, in the trash can, behind a painting, under the rug. So, Shusi was his accomplice. Imagine my astonished surprise when 1 week later, I just happened to walk into the bar and see him, Mr. Hat. I couldn't believe my own eyes. For a while, I thought it had all been a long dream. A dream that lasted a week. But it wasn't the magician who disappeared. It was Mr. Hat. Now let's talk about the trick vanishes. Though it seems complex, what really happened that day was quite simple. You were standing by the door and out came Zack. But that wasn't all. Another person got in the act, and she was standing in front of the lobby number 2. Along with Mr. Hat. And that's the beauty. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? So, while you're standing in shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner, and most likely runs through the closest door into lobby number 1. This is where you come in. You turn the corner in rather lukewarm pursuit. At the very moment, Shusi runs into lobby number 2. Then all she has to do is tuck away Mr. Hat. Sir, I only lost sight of him for the briefest of moments. Then I saw that cape, Zack Gamari's red cape, fluttering like a cape. Astounding, sir. All my days of posing queries and making inquiries and chasing queries wasted. It was as if I could see them melting away like an ice cream cone left by the side of the road to die, or scattering remains of a melted eaten chocolate prophet. Sweet, such sweet sorrows. I'm sorry. I had no idea how much you'd suffer on account of this case. It's an honor, sir. I've apologized to people many, many times, sometimes more than once. But this is the first time anyone's ever apologized to me. Actually, about that girl, I'm sort of her guardian now. Is that so? Sir, you should know that I harbor no ill feelings whatsoever in my harbor. Okay. I left the defendant escape. That's the stone I could touch. Just another step in my way from singing the blues to my wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be standing side by side with the great Detective Gumshoe. Mr. Meekins, this is a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar. If you want. It's an honor, sir. Sir, I can't count the number of things I've had taken from me, sir. But no one's ever given me anything for free. Right, I'll see you in the court next time then, sir. I look forward to it. All my eyes were on Dr. Mari that day in court, until his mysterious disappearance. Now part of the mystery has been revealed, but the magician remained out of sight. It would be 7 years before I met him again. Alright, so we're done at defendant lobby number 2. I don't believe you can go anywhere after you've already been there. And now here, after you complete those 2 areas in the past, it'll take you to the present to show that you can now go to the Borshkit Bull Club. But I don't want to quite go there yet. I want to check out the last area in the past. Let's go to the Drew Studio. "7 years ago, Drew Studio." Oh my god, that's a weird looking picture. I figured you'd come here sooner or later. I decided on sooner. Drew Marchand, was it? I haven't done anything illegal. And I didn't come here to whine about the past events. I wanted to ask you some questions. I suppose you have that right. That day, the entire court descended into chaos. Only you stood still, your eyes calmly watching. I admit, it made quite an impression on me. I'm used to finding myself in outrageous situations. Phoenix Wright, was it? I'll answer what I can. I'm not sure, but it feels like I'm being watched intensely. Oh, this is my daughter, Vera. Say hello. She's gone. Shall we begin then? So let's talk to you. Let's talk about you. Judging from this place, you're a painter? Not, sadly, a profitable one. I've never sold a painting. It's a source of considerable embarrassment. I would be able to get it by if it weren't only me. Your daughter? Her mother grew wary of me and left. I don't want her to grow up needy, Mr. Wright. This is why I began my other occupation. Forgeries? Well, I'm going to talk about those forgeries. Don't look at me with those eyes. I know what it is I do. More than half the paintings they bring me are stolen. And who knows what my copies are used for. But some of your works aren't paintings, correct? You may not believe me when I tell you this, but that was my first work outside painting. What? To think it would be used as evidence in a murder trial. I never even imagined the possibility. Then why did you take the job? I was well paid, very well paid. I think he feels worse about it than I do. The past is hard to escape. Honestly, the sooner I can put this behind me, the better. Well, apologies to you, of course. Sorry, but it's not going to be quite so easy. He's trying to forget what he made. Looks like I'll have to remind him. So I guess you gotta present it to him? Nope, not that. The notebook page. Your work. Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure, all you did was make a copy, but that copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. I'm responsible too, which is why I have to know. And sorry about that. And you have to tell me. I knew it would be difficult to escape this. Then let's talk. Well then, ready to tell me about this work you did? It was unlike anything I had attempted before. I guess it would be a little different from paintings. That is not what I mean. all of my previous work. It is suffice to create a copy.
This wasn't a copy?
The client gave me two things that day. The first was the sample page as reference. The second, a printed document I can only surmise was written by my client.
So you used the writing as a reference to reproduce what the client wrote?
Yes, as I said, it was my first job of that nature.
So, who was your client?
As I said in court, I do not know.
Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester.
I never met them. Not personally.
Yeah, you liar. Ah, a Cyclock, of course. It seems like you're still hiding something. Something about this work. I'm gonna cut to see what they say, and if it's something I can't do, then I'll come back here and do whatever I need to do. Okay, yeah, you actually can't break this, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You're hiding something. Lovely. Let's hear it then. What are you hiding from me, Mr. Marsham?
I'm sorry, but I really don't know. I never met the client.
True, when I asked the client's name, there were no Cyclocks in sight, because you were in the courtroom. Regardless, you're hiding something. You have to be, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense.
Why are you doing this to me?
Well, I've made my stand. No backing down now. So what's Mr. Marsham hiding? The forger. I can pretty much piece together what it is from what you said.
What is it then?
You told me what you knew about the client, and I couldn't see any Cyclocks.
Psycholocks? Is that some kind of new alien security? Or a new hairstyle, perhaps?
But then they did show up, didn't they? Who was your client?
As I said in court, I do not know.
Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester.
I never met them. Not personally,
Not personally. Those words triggered the Cyclocks.
Again with the Psycholocks. Now I really must know what they are.
So you didn't meet with the client? But someone else did. Maybe the real forger behind this evidence.
Perhaps I've hung up on this lock business. But I'm afraid you've lost me.
Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about Cyclocks. As long as I come to a conclusion, it doesn't matter how I got there. And your conclusion is? The real forger behind this wasn't you, Mr. Marsham.
Poppycock. I don't know what you're talking about. That's my work, I tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could it have been but me?
That's the real question, isn't it? If the forger wasn't you, then I don't have many other people to choose from. The real forger at Drew's studio is... Vera. The real forger is your daughter, Vera Marsham, isn't it?
Ridiculous. My daughter's only 12 years old, Mr. Wright. I've always been more one for landscapes, not serialism.
Nice comeback, but you're shaking your boots. I've got you now. The only two people with access to the studio are you and your daughter. The Cyclocks tell me you're not the forger, which makes your daughter the only possibility.
I feel very much on the vague of going psycholock myself.
I find it weird that he mentions the Cyclocks here, but whatever. Now let's talk about McNippy's diary.
I don't know how you knew, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera, not I. She's only 12, a genius you might call her.
A precious little girl is outshining her father. There's been a lot of that going around recently.
I let her play in the studio and she watched me. She taught herself in that way. The drafting tools and analytical devices.
Praises for